Welcome everybody to the second episode of Bear With Me. Hello.
Yay.
I'd like to welcome Gablor and Leo, who's new to this episode. Hello, welcome.
What's up?
I got a very fun episode planned for you guys today. Today, we're gonna play...
I'm cooked.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's gonna test your skills, all right? I've already kind of divided up the roles. We are gonna play basically Jeopardy, but with crime. All right.
Ooh. Okay.
So
I'm ready.
Lock in.
What is
I'm gonna
next,
have lawyers on the right side, and they are gonna be representing a client. They don't know what the clients did. They're gonna have to choose from the board and find out what their clients did, and then find a way to justify that crime. Gablor and Leo, your job is to be the jury.
Yeah.
You guys discuss and see whether this is whether their defense is good enough to be forgiven, whether they failed, and they get the full sentence. All right, that's your job.
Cool.
I don't give a shit if they were jaywalking. Death penalty. I'm turning the body cam off and I'm calling for backup.
Hey,
Go ahead and step out of the car for me.
This is gonna really test Oaks and the Adams' ability to be funny. It's gonna really test your creativity and wit, and I'm kind of curious to see what you guys come up with. So this is the board.
Funny though.
These are the 4 different crimes that are available.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get my client sent to prison.
Yeah. Oh god.
They're gonna get the death penalty over like a driving infraction.
So to be clear though, this is Jeopardy, but you want the lowest score at the end of the game.
You want the lowest score at the end of the game, yes.
Okay.
So this is the crime board. Take a good look. There's more rules, which I'm going to explain right now. When you pick a crime, you have 4 minutes to come up with an answer. And as I said, you guys don't know what your client did until you press the option. If you cannot come up with an answer or fail to get the sentence forgiven, another lawyer can answer. And if that lawyer gets the sentence forgiven, the lawyer has 3 choices: double the sentence given to the original client, shorten the sentence for your own client, or skip your next turn. And if the second lawyer fails to do that, then the next lawyer can do the same. And all the benefits apply except both the first and the second lawyer gets the sentence if you get it right.
So it's risky for the second person to take it.
At this point, if you have any questions about the rules, please ask me, and then we can get started.
Interesting.
So it's not like
I'm ready.
so it's not like we as the lawyers
So
are
cool.
going to prison. It's
No.
the client. Okay, that's not so bad. No, I can deal with that. Sending other
I'm innocent. I didn't do anything
Yeah,
wrong.
I'm innocent, of course.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with Oaks. Choose your crime.
Let's start with something simple. Let's do financial crimes.
Okay, which
for
year?
1 year.
1 year.
Sorry, these are
Alright.
sentences, right?
Yep.
Like the 1 year. Okay.
If you fail this, you get 1 year sentence. If you succeed, you don't get any sentence. That's basically how it works for all of the crimes. Your client is accused of stealing from a very specific busker every day for 1 week.
What? Who would do that? Can we, as the other lawyers, chime in?
If you want to, why not? If you
I
want to
already
help.
gave my case. I'm ready to go second.
I guess the only thing is, so if the busker was, let's say, in front of your business, stealing money away from, or taking money from your customers.
You don't sound very sure.
I don't sound, Yeah, I don't know.
1 year
More
lawyers
time.
from Timu.
I need more time.
Yo, stop. Stop.
Hey, I thought
Yo,
that was
okay.
his defense. He's like, I don't know. Like,
I'm pulling up
trying
a
to
Word
think-
document.
I'm trying to think of something. Sorry, go ahead,
me
Adam.
type
What were
it
you gonna
a
say?
little No, for my when it's my turn, I'm pulling up a Word document. I'm gonna be typing notes here.
I would just like to say that many places, busking itself is a crime.
Also, and I know I'm the jury, but just like little hinty hint, they're accused of stealing. Is there any evidence of it?
Hey, we don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that could be the first thing you bring up. Be like, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? I need
Where's the
videos.
beef?
I need witnesses.
It really depends, like, where is this taking place? So, like, where is the busker? Is he, like, underground in a subway? Or is he, like, above ground in an area?
You
Hold
tell
on, I'm
us,
gonna
Oaks.
pause.
Paint us a picture.
So for the rest
So,
of the
I mean,
game,
I could,
if the client is accused of something, they are guilty of it. Your job is to
Okay.
make up the details and justify it.
Okay.
So I have to make up the details of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
If they're accused, they're guilty. Like point blank. Period.
They did it, but did they have a good reason for doing it?
The busker is not permitted to be busking in that area.
So basically, he doesn't even need the money. He's just stealing from this bum for the love of the game.
He's not stealing for the love of the game. He's just taking the money back. He's basically taking this person, the busker's money, money that he wasn't allowed to acquire in the first place.
Okay.
Now, my client was planning on donating this money to the city. So
Robin Hood.
it's not like he was keeping it for himself. No, my client does not need the money. He's actually pretty well off.
Batman.
The busker was relatively weak, so he was able to steal it with no problem. So no one was hurt.
That's crazy. He mogged him.
Vigilante type beat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my victim was a fucking pussy, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Plus the noise pollution and stuff in the area was pretty bad, so we had to get rid of that too.
What was he playing?
Who knows?
Yeah. Was he good or like?
Was the song fire? Like were there like
Maybe it was
dancers out?
bagpipes in the middle of the city.
No, he was just
Making it
banging
up
on
about
those. He was just banging on those like plastic drums.
Was there any rhythm?
I don't
At
think
all.
there was any rhythm. At least that's what my client is telling me. I didn't
That's a
listen
crime
to
in and of
the.
itself. Yeah.
Okay. No,
I didn't
God.
actually hear. So, but apparently the people around him were cheering him on. So they were glad that we got this busker removed, or he got his money removed. Actually, not the busker.
Okay.
And we gave the money back to the people.
What do you guys
I
think?
say that's natural consequences. I feel like if you're annoying people with your music, I don't know, that's natural consequences,
So
I
you're
think-
basically saying
said that the rhythm
you
was
can
bad.
steal from someone? That's okay to steal?
But the thing is, he was giving it back, right? Like he's giving the money
Yeah,
back to people from someone who was stealing in the first place. Like he wasn't supposed to be there. He didn't have a permit, so he shouldn't have been there in the first place, right? So really, he's like stealing other people's money.
How about this? 3 months, but at least in my state, you're allowed to serve 85% of your sentence and the last 15% based on good behavior. You can get out early.
People seem
So-
really well acquainted with doing time in whatever state he's in.
But then
No.
I like that. I like that.
It's either 1 year or no years.
1 year or no years? Shit.
Yeah.
what about the busker? Shouldn't the busker
I look, you
be
want to say
punished?
just a slap on the wrist.
The busker is getting punished. Oh wait, no. Sorry,
No,
go ahead. No,
according
he's
to
not.
this, it's my client that's
Yeah.
being punished.
What do you guys think? Keeplore, Twitch, Leo?
Man, cause okay, zero anything is kind of crazy. Cause it's like you need something, but then 1 year is too much,
Stealing
I
isn't
don't know.
right though. I don't think nah.
Send him to jail.
All right. Does anyone else want to provide a defense?
Adam, would you like to go ahead?
Feel free. You said you had some notes written down.
I did have some other notes that Oak seemed to have missed. But the buckets that the busker was drumming on, the busker actually stole them from our client. So the busker actually owed our client
There we
money
go,
as well.
Yeah. Well, when
Who
you
does
put it
own a
that
bucket
way,
store?
he's just getting his money
Oh
back.
God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Home
Yeah.
free.
And then he was done, every day for 1 week. Just 1 week, done.
Yeah.
Got his
He
money
didn't even
back, I'm
steal it
out.
all at once. He took it back in payments. I would say
Exactly.
that's pretty nice.
Increments,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right.
So do you think Adam's family brings up a good case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not
The
gonna
fact
lie,
that he's stealing his property value back
hmm
Mhm.
does change things.
Okay, Adam's family, you have 3 choices. You can either double the years that you give Oaks, or you can get negative years, so you start with -1, which is good for you.
Ooh.
You'd be ahead, or you can skip the next turn.
No, we're ruthless. Oaks is getting 2 years.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna get slapped with 20. I already know it.
Financial crimes, 1 year is done. Adam's family, it's your turn.
Yo, I'm going for drug crimes.
Mhm.
10 years.
Oh, dear.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is a terrible decision. I'm not here to make good decisions, everybody.
Your client is
All right.
accused of ignoring local zoo rules and feeding gorillas aphrodisiac-laced bananas, resulting in a spike in gorilla populations.
Alright.
I've already got a defense for this one.
All right, your timer starts now.
All right.
This is a layup.
Damn.
All right, listen.
He's freaked out. Damn.
Listen. We all understand zoos, right? They're actually very unethical. The way that they treat their animals, their animals are in cages. These gorillas, they're treated in poor conditions. So my client is actually trying to get this zoo shut down. And at the same time, also trying to reestablish the gorilla population. As we all know, well, they're declining. The what is it? The very rare white-throated silverback, extremely rare. It's almost going extinct. And that type of gorilla is actually kept in the zoo. And they honestly, they should be under a closer eye to rebuild the population. But my client decided, with their extensive knowledge in the ways of the gorilla, figured they could, take matters into their own hands and kill two birds with one stone. So while trying to shut down the zoo and also restore the gorilla population, I think my client is completely innocent, and if anything, is a hero.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like that's your defense. Do you have anything else to add before we give it to the jury?
I think that's pretty good. Succinct.
Okay. What do you guys think? Leo,
How old is your
Gibler?
client?
How old is my client? Oh, he's got like 3 masters. He was one of, they call him a forever student. He was there for years,
Is
5
your
years,
client-
gorillology.
Your client's like in their 40s or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. I was just trying to make sure that wasn't the little kid that fell in Harambe's enclosure.
God.
No,
Because
no,
that would,
God.
no.
He's in his 40s and
Only
Yeah,
supported
yeah.
gorillas their whole life.
Yeah, and maybe if he's in his 20s or something, that might have been the little kid, but
Every species deserves to survive, and
it's
thrive.
like the opposite of the chemicals in the water making the frogs gay.
Yeah.
They're lacing the gorilla water or the gorilla bananas to make them extra super straight.
So like, it's not gonna be like a Planet of the Apes type situation, is it?
Oh, definitely not. No,
They get dumber.
this is one gorilla enclosure. There's 4 gorillas in there.
But this spike here is
The gorilla population is referring to the zoo's gorilla
In the
population.
zoo, yeah. In the zoo.
In the zoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully, if the zoo gets shut down, those gorillas will be released, and then they can go on to be naturally living and naturally populating.
What's
Okay.
considered like a spike in the population?
There were 2 birds
2
out of 4. They each had
birds. Okay.
a baby.
I would say
And
that's something to
when you're
stop.
treated unethically, you get depressed. They weren't even willing to make love, so he was trying to help them out as well that way. Let them enjoy life.
All right. What do you guys think? The jury?
I mean, if it's 0 or 10, I would say 0. 10 is a little crazy. He did a good thing. I don't know.
He definitely did a
It
good
did
thing.
take place in
Adam's
the middle
really
of
good.
the city zoo, where kids might have gotten hurt. It could have affected. Maybe it got out and it ate a chihuahua.
This was not a city zoo. This was a local zoo. Local zoo is deceiving, but this was actually a local park zoo, so it was very small.
So it was in the middle of a park, so there's even less room to contain the gorillas.
Yeah, that's why it was unethical. Yeah, it was a very unethical zoo.
The dab. For you.
Okay. All right, jury, please make a decision.
I'm an animal lover, man. I'm leaning
I am
towards
too.
0. I say 0. If it's 0 or 10, then I would say 0. But if you give me a choice to land somewhere in between, then I would say maybe 2 years. One for each birth.
Leo, what do you think?
Like I said, as long as if it's not like no Planet of the Apes and they start
He put a
beating us
Glock
up
in
and
one of the
killing
bananas.
people, I'm just saying.
Pull the pulpo.
I think I'm gonna have to give my man 0.
Alrighty.
I agree.
It is a local zoo. It is a local park zoo? You said?
Yeah, tiny,
Okay.
but unethical nonetheless.
All right, Adam, it's your turn. Which crime do you choose?
Let's do property crimes for 10 years.
Full send.
All right, your
Hold on,
client is
pause.
accused of enlarging the genitals and breasts of marble sculptures at the City Museum with nude-colored permanent clay. The clay could only be removed bit by bit with heavy polishing. The museum experienced a rise in visitors that came just to observe the polishing, forever tarnishing the image of the museum.
He gave him a BBL.
Not only
That ain't no BBL.
He sent
Did
he sent them to Colombia.
improve that statue and give it the, as the French say, the je ne sais quoi that it needed.
Yeah.
It says right here in my files, in the files that that was given to me by the court, the museum experienced a rise in visitors that came just to observe the polishing, forever tarnishing the image of the
That
museum.
part.
To that I say, any press is good press.
Yeah.
I will
yeah.
I will now field questions from the jury.
Me personally, he deserves the Congressional Medal of Honor.
But genitals though, genitals
mean,
like the
look
best thing.
Are we king shaming?
Have you seen like the Michelangelo?
I'm not saying
That's
that.
just like
I'm not
Honor,
saying that.
Your Honor, is the jury king shaming?
These are historical pieces of
I am
artwork,
not.
though.
Is it? Do we know that for sure? How old are these? It says enlarging the genitals and breasts of marble sculptures.
My file says they're ancient.
But tarnishing the image of the museum.
Oh, yeah, why is it tarnishing the image of the museum if they're just polishing it off? Like, is it ruining the artwork, or is it just?
They're just watching the staff members polishing the penis and the breasts vigorously every day until it's completely removed.
And that's considered tarnishing the image of the museum?
Yes.
Yeah, because
From
now they're known
something-
as the.
It's from somewhere respectable to basically like an abstract porn establishment.
Well, now, it doesn't say that the members of the museum are polishing them to remove them at all. What it says is the clay could only be removed bit by bit with heavy polishing. I posit that my client recognizes that what he did was a little crass, a little crude, sure. But you know, everybody's sense of humor is a little bit different. What if we turn this entire thing into an art exhibit?
What about the kids?
It's
the
a
children.
18 plus
Think of the
museum.
children.
It's just an 18 plus museum.
Actually, you know what? I did say that, but I'm gonna renege on that and say that during an elementary school field trip that I took, I saw a sculpture. It was a little demon with a little penis, and they made sure to not focus on that particular sculpture at all and just move us right past it. But it was there. So, high society, be fucking freaky.
Keep Lord Leo, what do you say?
I'm not gonna lie, I think this is out my hands.
The jury.
This is
You
out of my-
gotta.
If it's a hung jury means
It's
no
a hung
conviction.
statue and a hung jury.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was okay to deface these pieces of artwork?
I would say if the artwork can be restored by the client, either by paying someone to restore it or doing it by hand, then 0 years. But a failure to restore them, then full 10. Yeah, because like when you think about it, imagine if someone like drew over the Mona Lisa and like gave her like fat fucking honkers. Like that's like a
Jail.
loss.
Straight to
That's a
jail.
huge- yeah, like that's like really major. But if the person that did it paid out of pocket for like a full restoration to not
Still
only
straight to
like
jail.
remove the honkers but like restore it, have it cleaned and everything.
Let's say for this one, they were able to restore the original size, but the nude color stays.
10 years.
Ooh.
I have to go at 10 because they did ruin. Like, imagine if it was the Mona Lisa, like,
But
you
it's
know?
more of a part of history now. There's what
What-
was
what's
that
this
one-
titty
what was that-
museum
what
we're
was that
talking
one-
here?
No,
Titty
you know what?
museum.
Lady ruins Jesus painting.
What?
This thing.
Oh yeah, the
Use this as a
the.
reference.
Yeah, the fresco. No,
Yes, but your
the
client
lady
wasn't
that was
trying
supposed
to
to
make it
Yeah,
better.
she was trying to like restore it, and she just like made him look like all pixelated and shit. Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
monkey. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cared about this painting until it had something
Oh,
done
but-
to it. It's a part of history now.
Was the client
It's a part of
hired
modern
to
history.
restore these marble sculptures?
Sounded like a
If
cigarette.
anything, my client has a couple of reality processing issues. He thought he was hired to do this.
Ah, insanity plea. Love it.
All right, Giblor, Leo, please give your verdict.
They gotta be
Man, 10
guilty of
years.
something, man. 10 years. They still got
Man,
like the
10
colors
years.
on it. Yeah, 10 years. You ruined a piece of history.
The image of the museum.
Supermax. 10 years, Supermax.
Kodo set you up for failure.
Yeah, he really did.
Wait,
That was
hold
dumb.
on. Hold on.
I'm
These
not
are
gonna lie,
That was good though. That was really good. You had me. I swear you had me. But
Yeah, until Kodo said
I
it
don't-
couldn't be restored fully.
You know what? It's okay because my client had a lame sense of humor, anyways.
My client's a
some time
loser
in prison-
anyways.
Maybe some time in
Enough said.
prison will funny him up.
All
Enough
right.
said. 10 years.
That's round one. Oaks is at 2 years. Adam is at 10 years, and Adam's family is at 0 at the moment. Oaks, it's your turn again. Which crime do you pick?
Which
For
crime
10.
do I pick?
Mhm.
Oh, 10? All right, 10 years. Violent crimes, 10 years.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
All right, your
Let me
client
see.
is accused of
Armed
armed robbery
robbery.
of a truck full of canned foods for the homeless. Your client was also armed with objects and weapons that were also stolen from the homeless.
So the client is just stealing from the homeless.
Yeah, it's a
Mike-
reverse Robin Hood.
Just so everyone knows, my client is actually a homeless person. And he knew that the truck full of canned goods was actually not going to it wasn't being distributed properly at this homeless shelter. So he decided to take it upon himself to steal the truck and hand it out himself. He didn't have anything, so he did have to steal from his friends, who are also homeless. And he needed to use whatever they had to steal this truck so that he could deliver the canned goods to, himself to his friends. So yes, he stole from his friends, but then he's going to give the food back to his friends or to the homeless.
Giblor, Leo, what do you think?
Got some input. It didn't specify what kind of weapons he had, and I know somebody who fist fought another girl, and they said that she was armed with a weapon, and the weapon in question was a Hello Kitty ring that she happened to have on her finger when she punched her. So the fact that she had a weapon, or that, it could be anything. It might not have even been an intended weapon. It could have just been like, due to the totality of circumstances, they happened to have something that was viewed as a weapon.
Yeah, it was a folding
Correct.
chair. It was a folding chair.
A folding chair?
A folding chair.
That sounds like
well-
WrestleMania.
I know, right? Like,
Armed robbery with a folding chair. Love it.
Listen, he couldn't. He just took what he could
man.
find, right? There wasn't much that he could steal. So
Right. It's clearly stolen from the homeless.
Still-
so
yeah,
I
stolen
guess
from
it
the
makes
homeless.
sense. I guess it makes sense.
what were the plans with the things? Like, what was he gonna do with it? Was he then gonna hand it out to the homeless, or just,
the canned food.
yeah?
Yeah. He was going to make sure that it went to whoever needed it most.
You did say distributed, like correct.
Yeah, he was going to distribute it. Yes.
They mentioned that he robbed this place, like, with, like he was armed with objects and weapons. What were the injuries? Yeah,
So it was just the truck that he stole.
Was the delivery driver injured? Was anybody hurt?
No, it was still parked at the warehouse where they were filling up the canned food. So he actually didn't encounter anyone. He was just able to steal the
Oh.
truck. He just had
Okay.
weapons, quote unquote, on him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's just what he was charged with. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't call a folding chair a weapon.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
know,
like
that's-
a Hello Kitty ring,
yeah, like a
It's a weapon.
Hello Kitty folding chair. Yeah, exactly. No one was hurt. He didn't break anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see what the problem was here. He was just doing a good deed.
If we're focusing on what he's being charged with right now, armed robbery, I understand that it was an armed robbery. He did steal things, but no one was present. He didn't frighten anybody. He didn't traumatize anyone. He didn't injure anyone. So 10 years seems a little crazy when there's no, like,
So 0.
I'm gonna say 0. Like,
I'm
10
gonna
is
go with
crazy.
0.
No
Okay.
one,
10 is
no one was
ridiculous.
even
I think I'm
present.
gonna go for 0.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it was just the
know?
truck.
True.
All right. Adam's family, it's your turn.
Going back to drugs. I'm gonna do 5 years.
You guys do 5 years drugs? Okay. All right, your client is accused of hiding meth in squirrel and bird nests in the neighborhood, resulting in drugged up local wildlife, wreaking havoc.
That's crazy. I'd
How
like
do you
to see
plead?
the reasoning behind this.
Oh God.
Alright.
What?
Dang. My client, first off, we got to know the backstory behind this. He did a little bit of vigilante work. He knows he wasn't supposed to, but he took down the neighborhood's biggest kingpin in meth, like the Breaking Bad of meth, you know? He found out Walter White and he took him down on his own. But the thing is, the police didn't believe him at all, right? So he didn't know what to do with the meth. He had all this meth, and it was like winter time. It was coming in winter, so he couldn't. It was all snow everywhere. He thought the squirrels were hibernating. He thought the birds were all gone south. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna hide it in the trees. I'm gonna hide it in these little holes in the ground, you know? And he was gonna try and build a case throughout the winter to tell the police and then give it back and all that stuff. But, you know, global warming, the squirrels don't hibernate as long, birds all don't go south. So like things went bad. Things did go south 100%.
Kodamoris, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What do you mean by wreaking havoc? What?
I was about to say, did anyone get hurt?
Yeah, because like if
Animals
someone
going
got
to
rabies from it or something.
Yeah, you know.
Animals attacking children.
I think it was just property damage is what I heard.
There was a lot of bird poop, but there were some
Yeah.
attacks, like squirrels, you know, digging a lot of holes.
5 years.
No.
Children can't come out
Bro,
now.
If I get attacked by some random squirrel and now I have to get a rabies shot, you know how much that hurts?
That's like a whole series of vaccines.
Yeah. No,
For
it
everyone.
hurts real bad.
For
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey, but like a drugged up meth addict biting you, way worse, you know? Squirrel man bites, a little squirrel biting you compared to a meth head.
I
Those
would
guys are
argue
scary. You know when they
probably
wandering in the
about
street and
the
they just
same
randomly yell
amount
at
of
you? Like, that's
vaccines.
terrifying as well. There's none of those on the street, at least.
Is death penalty an option?
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Wow. Wow.
Your alternative,
getting a
your alternative is failing him, and some other lawyer can take up the case, and maybe the next lawyer can double his sentence.
Let's double it up. Let's go. What you got?
Look, I'm gonna say 5 years because, like, if a squirrel attacked a random person, I feel like the 5 years is a good amount. Like, it's not as crazy as 10. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like a COVID outbreak all over again.
All right, so I'm guessing Adam's family fails this case.
Sounds like it.
Does any other lawyer want to take up the case?
It's kind of tough.
I feel like you're guilty. No, you're guilty, man.
Guilty.
He was trying to do good, and then the local judicial system failed him. Now he's going to become a villain. This guy, we got to keep an eye on my client now.
Oh, we will. He'll be
Oh, we will.
he'll be on jail for 5
yeah.
years.
He'll be under watchful eye for 5
Yeah.
years.
All
He'll be
right.
just
Paranoid
fine.
squirrels.
Adam, your turn's up.
Financial 10 is still there. Okay, yeah, let's go financial 10.
Wow, you guys
That's
are
not
brave.
gonna- all the 10 years ones. Oh, God. Like, what?
All right, your client is accused of falsely providing a fortune reading service. Instead, the client read the customer's bank statements and used the information to steal their money.
He was providing the service to billionaires. My client was doing an objective moral good for the fabric of society, and he should be set free.
You know what? 0. I don't need to hear anymore. 0.
Eat the rich, baby!
How's he getting these customer bank statements?
Wait,
That's
I'm sorry.
pretty.
I'm
I think there's
sorry.
more
Stealing
to this
from
than
the
meets
ultra
the eye.
wealthy. 0.
Can you run your justification back, Adam?
They're billionaires, which is objectively a moral failing on their part, and therefore they are committing the crime. If we're going to harken back to a previous decision where the crime committing busker was the client got off, then therefore the crime committing billionaires, which there is no such thing as a billionaire who has not committed a crime, then my client is providing a service against criminals and should be set free.
I can't disagree with that. he's using our logic, you know. That's the first case that we said 0 on, that sets a precedent for the further
It's
cases.
called precedent.
It
Yeah.
The previous case, though, he
does.
was owed the money for the buckets. That's why he stole it back. This one, he's not
Billionaires
owed
owe
money.
every
Society
single
is
person
owed
in
the
the
money by the
population.
billionaires.
Yes, man.
I still got 2 years for that.
What is he doing
Wow.
with this money, though? Is he keeping it for himself or giving it back to the people?
There's been a recent spike in the population of rodents and avians, and also some gorillas. And
On
so
that?
they
Yes.
are putting it in towards building an animal sanctuary.
Amazing.
That is nice. That is
Yeah.
actually very nice.
All right, Giblor, Leo, what do you say?
0.
0.
0.
I like it.
Okay.
Send him
The
back
way
to the
animals are
streets. Tell him-
treated.
Tell
The
him
way
do it
animals
again.
are treated. Yeah, on God.
All
Do
right,
it.
Adam.
Now.
This takes us to the end of round 2. The scores are Oaks at 2 years, Adam's family at 5 years, and Adam at 10 years. Oaks, it's your turn now.
Let's go to. Oh, you did drugs. Let's do the financial one for 5.
All right, your client is accused of scamming thousands of elderly by promising a penile performance-enhancing drug that is safe for the heart. But the drug had no effect on the performance nor the heart, leaving the elderly men depressed and elderly women dissatisfied. Coincidentally, elderly women spent more money on this drug than the men.
So they got their money taken for no reason. And now they're depressed.
They're billionaires. these elderly were billionaires. So my client was just stealing from the billionaires, and he wasn't going to keep the money. He was going to build an avian sanctuary. I heard, you like birds, right? Yeah. So
Oh no.
he's going to build an avian sanctuary for the
They're
local
listening
zoo.
outside of the courtroom, like,
For the local zoo,
Seaboard, don't fall
where they
for it.
also where they also house like gorillas, stuff like that.
I've turned this show into a socialist podcast.
Do y'all remember the Panera Bread charged lemonades?
Oh my God, yes.
Wait,
Opinions on their charged lemonade.
elaborate.
Okay, so Panera Bread, and I'm gonna paint you the whole picture. You know, right next to the soda, the self-serve sodas and stuff, they had this thing of like charged lemonades. What is a charged lemonade? It's a caffeinated lemonade. Let me tell you, one of those charged lemonades
I remember
had enough caffeine that it was the equivalent of drinking 2.5 Monsters. Mind you, 1 can of Monster is already 2 servings. All right, so like think about that. 2.5 cans of Monster, that is 5 servings of caffeine in 1 cup of lemonade, right? You know what else? First of all, it was self-serve, so people were like just refilling, you know what you do in the self-serve? You like put some, you drink it, you go back, get some more. Nowhere on the sign did it say how much caffeine was on it, how much is like the average amount of caffeine that you should have a day. Like they didn't say anything. It's just charged lemonade. What does charged mean to you, right? Like as a customer, you're like, all right,
You gotta
whatever
lock
that
in.
means. Like whatever that means is charged lemonade. You drink some and then you go back to work, you fill it back up. People died. Their hearts exploded. Like people
Damn.
like legit died from that. And also like, mind you, it's self-serve. A child could have been like, ooh, lemonade, and like serve themselves, because that's all it says is charged lemonade. Like it's not behind the counter. They're not checking IDs to make sure you're 18.
Yeah.
Like anyone could have gone up, like, So they got sued, and people like, oh, you're a dumbass if you have a heart condition and you drink like charged lemonade. Dude, it's on the company to provide a warning, because you can't assume that the average customer like knows what charged means. What is charged? Like what is a
Electrolytes?
charged lemonade? Right? Like
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
customer, what does charged lemonade mean? I would walk out of there with my hands shaking, be like, what the fuck was that? Like, that's the Panera Bread charged lemonade fiasco.
Speaking as an individual who has a heart problem, that mango yuzu citrus lemonade was fire though.
Oh my god.
Yo, for real.
All right, Oaks, do you have anything else to add to the defense?
No, that's my defense. Is that
Kind of just copied Adam's defense.
Well, I mean,
The bird sanctuary.
Ain't no way.
no, okay, don't worry about the bird sanctuary stuff. But yeah, no, these guys were I mean, it wasn't it wasn't a harmful drug, right? It wasn't hurting anyone.
True.
Yeah,
There's no
no one
harm
died.
except for
No one
financial
died.
harm. Yeah.
It was just
True,
financial
true.
harm, which is it really financial harm if they, had billions of dollars?
But think about
also-
the women. Okay, they don't get what they need.
They are
True.
depressed. They
True.
are
Yeah,
depressed.
Yeah.
They are depressed. What do we do about that?
They were already depressed and dissatisfied to begin with, so no change, right? Nothing really changed. They just
You know what?
Lost-
Yeah, because
they
it
lost
says
a little money.
leaving them dissatisfied. So they were to begin with. So their mental state didn't change. They just stayed as they were.
And they're billionaires, so it's okay.
Yeah.
if anything, I was kind of giving them a little hope, right? I was
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
them a little
yeah.
hope in thinking that these things were going to help them. They were a little depressed. Yeah, it wasn't working immediately, but
Giblor, Leo, what's your verdict?
Healing is crazy. And then I don't know, they're old people,
Yeah.
Like some of them can be really, really nice at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that not all billionaires have to, do their dirt, but I'm just saying.
They do have alternatives. Like we know Viagra exists, so they
But
could
it's all.
just go
But it does affect the
out.
heart. That one, Viagra.
I was about to say, but does that
Yeah, it
affect the
does.
heart
Yeah.
though?
which my client did tell them. Yeah, told them that was not.
I think
not
I'm gonna let him go with 0. It didn't, it didn't have any effect on anything. Literally, obviously stealing is wrong.
Yeah.
But,
But it didn't hurt them. Like no one was hurt, nothing, they
Nobody
just bought a
died,
product
no
that didn't work.
nothing.
And raise your hand if you bought
Mhm.
something that didn't work before.
Mm.
Every time I go to the gas station, I buy a dick pill and a boiled egg, and let me tell you, I still don't have a dick.
So you got the boiled egg.
yeah.
Right on. Right on.
I tuck the pill into the egg and then swallow it whole.
Right on.
Pill pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that. Love that.
Like a dog or a cat. She has to trick herself into taking her pills.
exactly. It's easier to swallow a whole boiled egg than it is to swallow a pill.
Amen.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm on Leo's side with this one.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
Good
I
like swallowing
understand.
pills.
All right, so
I
so
say
far,
0. I say
Okay.
0.
all right, Oaks, you succeeded. You stay at 2 years. So we have property crimes and violent crimes 1, 2, and 5 years. We have drug crimes 1 and 2 years, and then we have financial crimes 2 years.
Doing drug crimes. 2
Adam,
years.
Adam's family.
All the drug crimes.
Okay, all right, all the drug crimes. Here we go.
Drug crimes, yeah.
Your client is accused of smuggling cocaine over the border by sneaking
That's
a baggie
sentence.
of it.
Death sentence.
Damn.
Death sentence.
Let Akoto finish.
No, on God, and it's gonna be me. From the jury stand. That's animal abuse. Nah. I don't want to hear it. This man is guilty.
Choosing the wrong
Death
one.
sentence.
So the wording is ambiguous. I know it's the way it's spelled DOG, but it meant DAWG. And he's sneaking the baggie up his buddy's butt.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So yes, he did. He's smuggling drugs, but it's prescription
border.
cocaine.
It's a consenting adult.
And there was
human.
100% consent. What isn't in the file is that my client also had a baggie up his own butt, so it's just fine. And it was spring break, gotta have some
And
cocaine.
it was spring break.
Yeah. So it's allowed. There's a lot more lenience when it's spring break.
Yeah. He was on his way to Miami.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
What are these?
And billionaires he stole the cocaine from billionaires, so he's helping.
More billionaires. You guys
More
are really
billionaires.
milking this, aren't
This
you?
Yeah,
seems to
no,
work.
for real.
This seems to work.
Okay. Now that there's clarification that it wasn't an animal that was harmed and that it was his DAWG.
Yeah, his dog. It was his dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the border, though. Over the border.
It was within the country, but it was like a within Canada type border crossing.
I was about to say, then what kind of border are we
Over
talking
the
here?
provincial border.
We're saying
Okay.
national borders for this one.
Or national
Wait,
border,
so
yeah.
cocaine is legal, is what I'm hearing. I mean, illegal.
I think it's decriminalized in Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, aren't all drugs
That's
decreased from
true.
last year? Yeah. I
So
wouldn't
like
be-
their Coca-Cola, is it like the original recipe?
Oh no.
Jesus.
You still. I don't think you can still sell it. It's just
Oh,
you can't be jailed for having like a small amount of it. I think. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Another thing is, instead of DAWG dog guy, what if it was just what if it was your like taxidermy dog?
Could have been.
Like it was a
but-
stuffed dog. Wouldn't that have been the better argument?
True, that's a good
'Cause
one
the dog
too.
isn't alive, right?
Damn, you guys are creative. These are pretty good arguments.
I've been shocked. Like,
And then you just carrying a
just
service
carry,
animal
like-
or like supportive stuffed animal dog.
Yeah.
Helps him sleep on the
basically
plane.
Basically a stuffed animal. Yeah.
All right, Giblor, Leo, what do you guys think?
What do you think, Leo? Because it's okay, 2 years.
You
That's
know-
not that bad.
it's not a dog.
We're all just
Yeah,
we're all
that's
gonna
not
get
a
the
dog.
lower sentences.
It's not a real dog, but we are
Not a dog.
smuggling cocaine up our asses.
Yeah,
Not okay.
yeah.
Not okay.
Like you couldn't figure out how to get cocaine in your own neighborhood, you know?
But did they do anything with this said cocaine?
Was it
Oh, just
enough
for
to
personal
distribute,
use.
or was it just like a tiny little like?
Are we talking
no,
like a
just-
huge
just personal
quantity
use.
here?
Just like an eight
Personal
ball
use?
for themselves.
Personal-
You know, the weekend
Okay.
vacation.
He did say spring break. He did say
Yeah.
spring break.
Just for
Okay.
Go to
them.
Miami.
All right.
Um,
All right.
you got me 0. If
I was
it's
about
just
to
like
say.
an 8 ball, just then just
All right. All
do it in
right.
front of me and get out of my face. Just, you
Yeah.
know?
Or
There it
just
is.
Yeah.
let me turn around.
100%.
All right.
Overdose
So I'm
them,
getting
please.
that he succeeds, and Adam stays at 5 years.
Yeah.
Next is Adam's turn. Choose your crime. For property, we have 1, 2, and 5. Same for violent. For drug, we have 1 year, and financial, we have 2 years.
2 years property crime.
2 years property crime. Okay.
Wow, nobody wants to do violence.
All right. Your client is accused of creating an obscene amount of crop circles on local independently owned farms.
Oh,
Right, that's like a local farmer. That's like just like a random like old man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I will just posit that independently owned
my God.
farms, much like the phrase "made with real cheese," independently owned farms is a clever marketing tactic by a corporation. Independently owned farms is the name of their brand.
Billionaires, eh? Billionaires?
Billionaires.
Billionaires again. Yeah.
Okay.
Billionaires all the way down.
Man, is your client willing to pay like for damages?
Absolutely.
and trespassing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
what you may have noticed about many of my clients here today is they are
It's
all...
just one client.
Oh, it's the same client?
Same
Wait,
guy.
One guy is
Yeah,
doing
he's-
all these crimes.
Wow, this guy
That,
is.
that makes it
roll.
even better.
Oh.
That makes it even better. He's an artist. He's an artist.
Okay.
He's a performance artist. He makes adjustments to statues. He makes crop circles. It is a statement. It is a statement on some piece of the world. And you know what art does? It costs money. So of course he's willing to pay for damages and such.
If he pays for damages, I'm willing to say 0.
Can one person pay for damages of a billionaire corporation?
Oh,
Well,
shoot.
it's not per se damages to the billionaire corporation. It's damages for the crops, which I would say could be harvested post haste, and then he could make meals for the homeless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing is established as to what the crops are. You know, could be a whole bunch of corn. Let's have ourselves a corn party.
So this client is
Corn
a
party.
this
A
client is like
corn party.
he's homeless. He's an artist. He's a drug dealer. A
Oh, it's
vigilante.
all of these. This isn't one client for each of us. This is
No.
one guy that everybody is defending all of his
Oh my
crimes.
God.
My man is insane.
He's stirring up a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, man, he's
So-
been busy.
So like another question: when he made these crop circles, has he already served his 10 years from the previous crime?
No.
He hasn't. So this
No.
is before.
These are we're trying to find out how many years he's going to serve consecutively. I've
Exactly.
realized that's
Consecutive.
Oh,
Okay.
Which lawyer is the best at defending this man or woman
At
or
the-
they? All right, Giblor, Twitch, Leo. What's your verdict?
2 years won't hurt.
You know, the street cred might help with his art.
You know, I
A
can't
lot
argue
of
with that.
people come back from prison, you know, really, really talented. They become tattoo artists in there and shit, you know, like it could help.
Yeah, your client will
Cinnamon.
come out a better person.
Yeah.
All right. Does any
know
other
what?
lawyer want to pick up the case? All right.
I was gonna say, you know, it's not listed here, but the independently owned farms actually gave him permission to make these crop circles. It was just a miscommunication. It was one of those, you know, when you have a Karen of a neighbor that's like, oh my god, there's a black guy next door, he's robbing the house, and then that guy's like, dude, I fucking live here. What are you talking about? My man was given permission to do the crop circles as part of his artwork. And a lady driving by was like, this guy's defiling everything, la la la, and like made a big scene out of it, so he had to get arrested and all that stuff. But my man had permission for all of this.
Okay. I'm leaning to 0 now. I'm leaning to 0 now because that was a racially motivated 911 call.
Yeah, we should actually go find that lady who placed the call. Like,
We should.
but unfortunately, she was just driving by and.
I
and
think
left.
we should.
We should
Um,
feed her one of the meth addicted squirrels as punishment.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Please. We're supposed to be the voice of reason here.
That lady's racist. That is within reason.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I will give it
Adam's
to you.
family. You have now 3 choices. You can double the sentence for item or item. You can you can decrease your own sentence by 2 years, or you can skip your next turn.
Run it back. Take those 2 years off mine.
All right, you are at 3. Round 4. Property crime, you have
That's
1 and
adorable.
5 years. For violent crimes, you have 1, 2, and 5. Drug, 1 year. Financial crime, 2 years.
Let's go violent. Violent
Alright.
for what's 5? You said?
Yeah, 5.
Good
Your
choice.
client is accused of forcing pet owners that are in direct line of sight into a fight between pets for money. In completely unrelated news, veterinarian profits are sky high.
Oh no.
This is some Pokemon shit.
This is a
Wait
bad
a
one.
minute.
Wait,
We're gonna have a
this is just
real
what it
good
is.
reason for this one.
This is just
Yeah, no,
Pokemon.
for
It's fine.
real.
We're
We
gonna have a
live in the
real good
Pokemon
reason for
universe.
this. I'm listening.
Oaks, it's Pokemon. Come on, direct line of sight.
Michael Vick.
Just walk around me.
He said forcing too. He didn't
It's
even
forcing.
give him an option.
Yeah, it's not.
Forcing.
Yeah, it's. Ooh.
It's just little Joey, bug trainer, man. You just got 3 Weedles on him. It's fine.
Oh my God.
No, these aren't Pokemon. These are real animals.
It's like you're trying to put a German Shepherd against a Chihuahua. This is not going to work.
Right, like this is.
This is not going to work.
I walk my cat sometimes. I don't know how she'd fare against the German Shepherd.
And we're not even talking about just dogs here. We're talking about pets.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Japanese genre where you get transported into a new universe?
Isekai?
Isekai?
Yeah, it's just that's what this is. My client was isekai'd into Pokemon universe.
This is not helping.
I don't. Yeah, that's not helping. I don't. Wait, did I say violent crimes? I meant
It's too late.
property something. Oh no. He works for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and basically he was just fulfilling requests for children who had pets, and
Mm.
this was their wish. This is what they wanted. I mean, he didn't want the animals to get hurt, but he wanted to live out like his Pokemon dream. So that's basically what he was providing. He's providing a place for children to fight with their pets. Oh my god.
What would
For
you
money.
Make-A-Wish
For money.
I mean,
For money?
for
Right.
money. Like I said, it's for the foundation.
Kids are really fucked
If-
up.
Giblor,
No.
Leo, what do you say?
I'm sorry.
Man,
It
man,
might-
it's the 5 years for me. It's
I
gotta
think I'm
be.
gonna have to do it for 5 years, man.
This one's
Sorry,
tough.
what was that? What was that?
All
I mean,
right,
it's like,
Adam.
these pets,
I got
You
nothing.
guys-
My defense was Pokemon, but apparently that doesn't work, so I'm out.
All right.
Reason I'm out.
Okay. Folks is now at 7 years. Adam's family, choose your crime.
I'm sticking with what I know. Drug crimes. Gonna finish it off 1 year.
All right, all the drugs are now done. Drug year 1. Your
All the
client is accused
drugs.
of selling marijuana brownies using Girl Scouts as unknowing accomplices.
Oh man, this one's so easy. So I don't know. You might have actually seen this story in the news. The Girl Scouts are actually profiting the most out of this, which is, as we know, it's like not charity, but it's to support young women in their growth to becoming, part of societies. My client was simply trying to help them, but yeah, he would open up a marijuana shop, sell the marijuana brownies, and then customers of the client, like people buying the marijuana brownies, after they came out of the shop with their weed, they would see the Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies, and we all know those are fucking fire. And what's better? What's the best way to eat Girl Scout cookies is when you're high and you want snacks. So they just go hand in hand. I mean, marijuana is pretty legal in most places now, and he had it all properly done. He had it listed how much was in them, indica, sativa, all the brands. So people buying the brownies knew exactly what was in it, exactly what they were getting. So that's how, that's why they're listed as accomplices, because they knew where they were posting up to sell the cookies.
Keyboard, Leo, what do you think?
Like,
0?
Everything's pretty legal here,
I think I would give it 0.
The kids are not even traumatized. They have no idea. They said unknowing accomplices. So the kids weren't even.
Oh, unknowing. Yeah.
They didn't even know that, the Girl Scouts aren't traumatized. Nothing happened. They had no idea. They were just thinking, my cookies are selling like crazy. And the people buying it knew. They knew what it was.
They are nutrition facts.
Yeah, because imagine you tell everyone in the neighborhood, hey, by the way, I laced all the Thin Mints. If you buy from these Girl Scouts, buy the Thin Mints. And then yeah, they go and now they know, all right, I'm gonna buy the Thin Mints. Everyone that bought it knew. I say 0. I say 0. Yeah.
I say 0 too, but I love Thin Mints. I'm sorry, 0. I'm sorry,
they can go back to
0.
Yeah.
Adam's family stays at 3 years. And now it is Adam's turn. Choose your crime.
Drugs are easy, guys. I got it.
All right, which ones do we have left?
We have financial 2, property 5 and 1, and violent 1 and 2.
Let's do violent 1. See how violent we can be minimally.
All right, your client is accused of throwing pictures of the moon at investment bankers while shouting, "To the moon!"
Not to harken back, but investment bankers.
Or billionaires.
But the crime committed here is the fact that he is seemingly shilling for cryptocurrency, or meme stock, and that admittedly is a damning accusation. However, this is actually a case of mistaken meme identity. What my client was in fact referencing was the My Little Pony friendship is magic joke of To the Moon. I'm gonna stop here to seem like I don't know anything about My Little Pony memes and save some of my face.
He's not hurting anybody.
Right?
Exactly.
It's like pieces of paper,
Yeah, literally.
He's being weird and confusing. I'd if someone did that to me, I'd be like, okay, and then I'd move on with my life. I wouldn't
Right.
think about it again.
Right.
I wouldn't even call the cops. I would just move on. The fact that he's getting charged with it means someone was just bored and was like, I'm charging this person. I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 0. It's a piece of paper.
I feel like 0 as well. I agree.
Adam stays at 12 years. The score is now Oaks at 7, Adam's family at 3, Adam at 12. Oaks, it is now your turn.
Ooh. Okay, I'm not gonna go with violent. Could any of these other ones have pets in it? I don't know. I'll do.
What a risk! What a risk!
You get anything to do with pets, it's a lot harder to
No,
get
it's
out
over.
of.
Yeah.
It's over. My client's
It's
going
Jover.
away.
It's so Jover.
Let's go with. All right, let's go property 5.
Your client is accused of defacing a church wall with a sexy yet tasteful mural of the devil.
0.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean the church was it's not in use right now. It's abandoned.
It's tasteful.
Yeah, we're just trying to, like I said,
And
my
sexy.
client. My
Devil's
client is an
always
artist.
sexy.
My client's an
And
artist.
honestly, let's be honest, we're always trying to find a way to make church more sexy.
Yeah.
True, but right
I
now the
don't
church is
know.
not being used. The
I
church
think-
is not being used. It's vacant. And like we said earlier, my client is an artist, so he just used it as basically as a canvas to paint whatever he wanted, right? And in this case, he painted a tasteful, sexy devil.
The church was owned by billionaires, anyways.
No,
Yeah.
no
Oh.
more billionaire arguments.
Oh, 0 years. 0 years.
Did you know the abandoned church housed a bunch of birds
And squirrels.
and squirrels? Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's tasteful,
Okay.
It's just
Yeah.
an abandoned. It's
Yeah,
it's
0.
literally a mural on an abandoned building. It's the church wasn't being used. It could have been on a wall. It could have been anywhere. But in this case, he chose a church. due
This is
to-
confirmed abandoned,
What?
correct?
Yes, of course. Yes, that's what my client
Okay.
tells me.
That's what he tells you.
It's abandoned.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Sounds like
Well, I'm all for tasteful. All for
okay.
tasteful.
Gibler Leo, you say his sentence is forgiven? 0. Okay, I see the 0. Perfect.
I
Oak
just hope it's
stays
good.
at 7. Okay, Adam's family, it's your turn to pick.
Oh, I can't do any more drugs.
Nope.
Damn.
So we have property 1, violent 2, and financial 2.
All right, I'm taking the violence. I just hope it doesn't involve an animal. Here we go.
Your client is accused of poking 1,000 people's buttholes with finger guns while shouting, 1,000 years of pain! Victims reported constipation for 1 week after the assault due to fear of getting poked again.
Oh dear.
That's an Naruto reference. I'm on it.
Oh, I don't know
But,
it.
Believe it.
Listen, at least he's going out with a bang. 2 years, because that's not cool.
And you know what's
Hold
crazy?
on. Let Adam's family make his
What's gonna
case.
happen to his butthole during
I'm
those 2
listening.
years?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
This is so wild. So this is a unique situation, okay? So my client was actually in a gym, and the gym practices the 1,000-year butthole poking training method. I forgot what was the word.
Jutsu?
The technique of butthole fingering. So everyone at this gym was on board. They all practice it, you know. Unfortunately, my client was very new, so his finger was slightly bent while doing the butthole finger technique. So that is what led to the constipation for 1 week. So that's unfortunate. But yes, the victims are now a little weary because they don't want to go back to the gym and deal with another newbie who doesn't understand the butthole fingering technique properly. So my client ultimately just needs to learn more, but we all start at ground zero for everything. He wants to master how to finger a butthole properly. And this gym has been open for years and has resulted in many masters of the butthole. And
Does this gym teach the butthole
So
fingering
disgusting.
technique for self-defense?
where does it say self-defense? No, this is pleasure. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see.
Oh
okay.
dear.
It's just part of tradition to go 1,000 years of pain. But masochists, it's all people are into what they're don't kink shame, But yeah, all the victims are part of the same
giving
gym.
him 2 years could be kink shaming.
Yeah, don't kink shame.
Yeah.
They're all on the same team. Many of the victims have fingered other buttholes as well. They just did it properly. That didn't lead to the 1 week of constipation.
I'm not trying to get canceled for
Oh, so
kink
my
shaming.
man's
I'ma
really
say
just messed
0.
up. He just messed up that one good time.
Yeah.
1,000 times?
He's gonna get better.
To practice. Practice makes perfect. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Only
All right.
1,000 times.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a Naruto reference. I have to. I'm sorry. Listen, I have to give him 0. I'm
Girl,
biased. I'm gonna let
yeah.
G-Blow handle this.
I'm not trying to get canceled for kink shaming. I'm gonna say 0 because I don't really want to do an apology video with tears right now. So 0.
All right. Adam stays at 3. It is now Adam's turn. You have financial 2 and property 1.
Let's do property 1.
Property 1. Your client is accused of stealing candy from every kid at a local elementary school.
We have an obesity epidemic in this country.
Ooh, true. Yeah. Nah,
He's
you're
doing-
right.
Doesn't justify stealing the candy.
He's taking that candy that he stole and he is distributing it to the houses of the parents that will give it out on Halloween. So he's basically, it's less stealing and more
It's like redistribution.
redistribution and delayed gratification, which will teach them
Yeah.
temperance, which is a virtue that all
That is
children
good. Yes.
need to learn.
I'm on board. Yeah.
I just don't like stealing.
Stealing from children,
I
though.
understand obesity. I do understand.
Was every kid at the school obese?
Was it every kid?
It does
Stole
say
from
that.
every kid at a local elementary school.
Kind of like one of those, if one child acts up, the teacher punishes the entire class.
Man, I hated that.
Yeah, it does suck and it is dumb, but at the same time, it wasn't my client's rules, it was the school's rules. They told him if you're going to steal candy from people, you have to steal candy from everybody. So he was following the letter of the law presented to him.
All right, Giblor Leo, what do you think?
And my client,
Did the client's like parents or guardian or
They got the candy back.
are they okay? Like are they like above age? Are they a kid themselves? Like
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
like is their parents like okay with this? Because I
yeah.
would imagine since they're like at an elementary school.
Sure. It was actually organized by a number of the parents and then approved by the PTO. My client is offering each of the jurors one Reese's peanut butter cup under the table.
Oh my God, Reese's is my favorite. 0 years. Thank
Whoa.
you.
We can bribe.
It was never stated that we couldn't.
0.
Zero. Thank you.
All
I'll be
right.
waiting for my
Now you
Reese's.
got up the Reese's Pieces.
I'll be waiting for my Reese's.
All right, Adam, you stay at 12 years, but you're still at the highest number for the sentencing. I think
What
we
you have to do is help someone in their case to then take some off of yours.
Yeah.
Or double theirs or whatever.
But I could only take 1 year, so.
Yeah,
Oh, true.
there aren't too many options left.
Okay. The last one is financial crimes 2. This is the final round, and I'm gonna ask all 3 of you to work together on this one.
Do it.
All right.
All right, your client is accused of diving into fountains all over the city, taking coins and people's wishes.
I think we all take the +2 on this one.
I was about to say that's so sad.
Right?
Like
My
really
wish.
sad. Okay, let them cook though. Let them cook.
All right, you guys got 4 minutes to work together.
All right. Well, first, to my legal team. This is to my legal team. But I heard that the coins were actually poisonous. They were poisoning the water, and it was getting into the water system of our city.
Hold on. No, we don't want to say that because then he's diving in. Why is he diving into the fountain then?
Because he's getting the coins out of the water system. As for people's wishes, I think the wishes are definitely still cast. I don't know what magic system we're using, but from the one I'm familiar with, if I look at my player's handbook, when a wish is cast, it's the magic is out there, and the gods are doing their thing. I don't think taking the coin out of the well removes the wish.
Much like the lead poisoning is imbued into the water supply, as is the magical power of the wish. It is no longer within the coin itself.
And he didn't even steal the money from the people because the people already gave that money up freely.
Yeah, like he's just trying to help the water, because if it gets into the system, it can create more problems in the future. I know diving into the fountains doesn't look good, but if people only understood, took a moment to ask him, which no one was, they just saw a crazy person diving into the fountains,
Somebody said he was saving the coins from drowning.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. He wasn't stealing money from anyone because that money was given freely. And he was doing a good deed by removing the poison from the water supply. And the magic is already in the air, so taking
Correct.
the coins is, yeah, I'm gonna say 0.
Correct.
So, if you take money from the fountain, you are technically stealing money from the city because the city takes that money. And then...
Billionaires.
Just go on, go on. What'd you say?
Billionaires.
Lining their own pockets with fountain money.
Yeah, with fountain money.
And I heard that the city has a
But like,
stash
how
of
much?
Nazi
How much
gold.
money even is it? That's probably like $37 and change, like max. You know, like fuck it.
Yeah.
But every day though, you know, like
all over the city.
If you think about
Yeah,
like,
you
you know
know.
those ladies that walk around returning empties, like its monetary amount is very similar to that.
is this at like a shopping center or something? Because usually that's where they are at, like, you know, parks and shopping centers.
Like at the malls and stuff.
Yeah.
In a mall or something.
It's the fountains in the zoo that had the gorillas.
Yeah, unethical.
Yeah.
Unethical fountains.
To give you guys reference, the Trevi Fountain in Rome is is like a really famous fountain. When they just collect only the coins, they make 1.5 million euros annually.
Damn.
So it can be a lot of money.
Okay,
you're
but
taking
the
away.
But that's a
client-
very
You have a conversion
famous.
to USD.
Yes, it is.
It's a very famous fountain.
And that
It's
is
like
over
a
the course
tourist
of a year.
destination. This is like, you guys said it was a very local, very small zoo.
Yeah.
The difference in visitation, you know, like.
You don't have to pay to see the fountains he was diving into. You know, these are just public fountains.
So,
Zero.
yeah.
All right. For this one, everybody wins, I guess.
Woo!
The final scores. Adam Har Adam is at last place at 12 years.
Let's go.
Oak Shadis is at second place at 7 years.
Yo, that
And then
one
Adam's
destroyed
family
me.
and then Adam's family is at first place at 3 years. So in total, this person gets 21 years in jail,
Well
Damn.
deserved.
Yeah, it's well deserved.
considering all the climbs.
Man, what a
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
They did a lot of shit.
What a person, man. Jesus Christ.
They're just wildin'.
Were you influenced by anything in particular while writing them, or?
One of the prompts did inspire me, and then I thought it might be really fun to make a Jeopardy out of crime, and then have you guys try to justify it. And then, like I said, some of the crimes did get pretty serious, like shooting kids with paintball guns with red paint at the park. Like I took that out, thankfully. But then there were other ones, like selling animal semen to as breast milk to mothers.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeesh.
Put him away for life.
Yeah.
Put him
And I-
under the prison.
I wanted
Yeah.
to see like just how much you guys
How
could
crazy you
justify.
can get with
Yeah.
Oh, we could try to get away with it.
Would you say, G, death penalty? Yeah.
So with the semen one, our guy is blind. He thought he was milking a cow and just selling normal milk.
Turns
Come
out he was
on.
milking people.
All right,
People are-
everybody.